Good morning, good morning. It is Monday, day after the Super Bowl. Glad that you guys are here with me. The chances of you guys probably home watching this are likely because it is the number one most called out day of the entire year, believe it or not. And I'm here with you guys. So thanks for joining us. We are here tackling the subject of items or people or vehicles parked on the side of the road. And just so my team knows, I'm getting a huge kickback here, feedback at the moment. So I am going to pop this out, and we're just going to have a good time while doing this. So we're parked here currently on the side of I-4, right? Normally, I tell you not to park here, but I'm showing you a few different things that are taking place out here because time and time again, I keep getting the same question as to why are all these signs parked here? And these are the signs I'm talking about, these no parking signs. They're riddled all over the place. They're probably a total of 50 or 60 of them, both in the eastbound or maybe in the westbound portions of the roadway. And they're here for a reason, I promise. So this is why we're here today. We're here on a Monday, Trooper Steve on patrol, live in Results 1, on a less crazy day on the roads to talk about this. And it's, where should we be parking our vehicles? What are up with these signs? So first and foremost, let's talk about these signs. What do they say? Why are they there? They very clear. No parking. My mom used to say, Steve, what don't you understand, the N or the O? And I always found that amusing because it's pretty crystal clear. No parking under any circumstance. It doesn't even say during daytime, nighttime. It just says no parking. And you'll see a large amount of these entering either the eastbound or the westbound area of the rest area here in Lake Mary along I-4. You'll also see a lot of these along I-95 in our rest areas. Some people would say this is a little excessive. I'd agree a little bit, but it's here for a reason. Something has obviously caused DOT to put these signs out here. Why has DOT put these signs on here? And that's what we're here to talk about specifically. So bear with me. I took the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, to kind of recover. Still a little under the weather. But I'm here with you guys because that's what we do, right? So let's take a drive into the rest area so you can see these signs that we're talking about. So you can see them, right? Very clear. No parking, and they're all along the roadway leading into this rest area. And they're here for one predominant reason, and that is unfortunately, for our truck drivers. There are a certain amount of truck spaces for truck drivers in the eastbound or the westbound areas. And crystal clear, they do not want you parking on either shoulder here. And this is an area of transition, an area of moving vehicles. This is not designed for you to park your vehicle here. So if there's a sign that says no parking, you are not allowed to park there. To include right here, it says no parking, right? So they have the no parking with the arrows. Why? Like I just said, transitional area. The westbound has a lot more. Eastbound, obviously, very limited. So let's see. We're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 20 large truck spots, then to include out here on the shoulder. So at nighttime, this could become a predicament, right? Because there is limited parking here. But this entire area is going under reconstruction, meaning they're adding more spots. But something to keep in mind, I want you to think about here. We'll pull over and talk about. So is there any law specific to, well, if there's limited amount of spots, then I can just park wherever I want? No, you can't. Why? Because this is designed to fit 20 trucks, and that's it. If you can't fit here, it is up to you as the driver, as the operator of the vehicle, to find a safe truck parking area. And parking on the shoulder is not one of those. So Florida is pretty clear that a driver should not be parking on the shoulder of the roadway. One of the most popular places for overnight areas are our truck stops. So this is a rest area. Okay, so I don't want you to mix up the two. You have, let's break those down. You have two different words. You have a rest stop and you have a truck stop. Rest stop is for everybody out on the main highway, for you to pull over briefly, not to stop overnight, to use the facility, to use the restroom, maybe let your dog out, okay? A truck stop is just that. It has so many truck parking spots. It has gas. It has facilities in order for you to park your truck properly, things like that. And it is designated, has the infrastructure for you. A rest area doesn't have these things. So that's something to keep in mind. A Buc-ee's, right? One of those love stops, those large gas stations that you see off the turnpike and things like that. Now, do we have a shortage in truck parking? I think so. I think and the infrastructure has probably not caught up with it. It is cloudy. Sorry. It's like squirrel. And we do have a problem. So I don't want any of the truck drivers out there that are watching, because this is usually what happens. I do something like this and I'm only talking about one side. I am only talking about one side today, and that is the problem with parking. We are going to then hopefully maybe try to show an alternate that I want you to try. And now I'm sure people are doing this, but I'm not a truck driver, so I'm just here presenting the options, right? So here, when you're exiting, they even have the signs that say no parking. So let's make sure we're careful pulling out of here. Why would they even have them here? Because it's so limited here that it says no parking on grass, no parking anytime. And they're all up on the roadway. We've already passed 10 of them, and they're just all up on the side here. So if these are here, that means we have a problem, right? So if you were parking back over in that area, and say you were in the eastbound direction of I-4, and that was a rest area that you had mapped on your route to get to where you were going with your large truck, and you parked there and you saw the abundance of signs that say no parking, then you pulled into there, okay, I could use the restroom, but there was nowhere for me to park. I'm going to tell you not to park on the shoulder out there. Why? One, the signs say don't do it, and two, it's extremely dangerous. Why am I saying it's dangerous? I'm traveling at 65 right now in a posted 65 mile an hour speed zone. And I'm passing an empty shoulder. What if there was a semi-truck here and I lost control? Now, we could what if scenarios all day, but that's my job. So I'm going to what if with you. That's why we don't put vehicles on the shoulder unless it's an emergency, unless you're stopping there. So I've spoken to a few truck drivers and I've asked them, hey, how do you beat this? How do you beat this challenge that you guys are facing? Because let's be real, it is a challenge. We don't want a parking on the roadway, but we want our truck drivers getting rest, following their logbook, making sure that they're doing things properly. How would they do that? So what I've always recommended, and what I've also noticed with some drivers, they tell me they take the extra initiative to find out exactly where they're going. So what do I mean by that? So if they knew they were going to Daytona, they need to stop overnight, they're looking up on their map large parking lots. Wow. Who would have thought we had to be proactive in life? Obviously, I'm being a little sarcastic, but this is what I do when driving. I'm planning out my trip, right? In my small little car that I own, not a semi-truck. I'm planning out my trip. I'm looking at possible areas I'm going to stop, areas that would be comfortable for me. A semi-truck driver should be doing the same thing. If we're headed to a destination, and I should have 2 to 3 alternate locations that I could pull over my vehicle and take a rest. And these would include locations of private businesses, right? So we're pulling off here, say for example, all these cars making the no turn on red, and there's 2 signs that say no red. Look at this one. You gonna do it? 3 of them did it. No turn on red. It says it right there, right in front of us. But for example, if you are a semi-truck driver and you run into this problem, you're on a route, right? And you run into this continuous issue that, wow, I'm having to stop on the shoulder in Lake Mary, or the Lake Mary Police Department or the Florida Highway Patrol keeps stopping me. How can I avoid that? Well, pull up on Google Maps. Check your area, your route up, because then look what you find. So say if I was here and I was driving a large semi-truck. Now, I may not be able to negotiate this one. Okay, watch out there, buddy. But look at this. I found back here a large lot. I can promise you no one's going to get upset you park back here in the middle of the night. Why? At Homes is closed. It's all about taking the proactive initiative as a semi-truck driver. It's miserable for me to even almost say it out loud because I feel bad, because everything's always working against you guys. You can't park in certain spots. You have to log your certain hours. You have to worry about everyone else on the roadway not paying attention to your blind spots and things like that. But it just is what it is. So we've got to be a little cautious of things like that. So if you're joining us, what did we kind of try to talk about? You like that? It's Monday, bear with me. Why are all these signs listed all along the I-4? Because they don't want these vehicles parked there. So they decide if we put them within a couple of feet, people won't park there. I guess that was the mentality behind it. But why don't we want the cars parked there? We're talking high speeds, large vehicles. You cannot be staying there overnight and not think anything's ever going to happen. So they don't want there because they don't want your vehicles there because it's an emergency. You should only be parked there in case of emergency. On the exits, same thing. So what should a semi-truck driver do when in a situation like that? You know, it's unfortunate, but you have to be the one to be proactive. Look up your route on a map and find large parking lots, Walmarts, Home Depots, things like that. Make contact with them and let them know, hey, do you mind if I park here overnight? I know most Walmarts don't mind if you're parked there when their hours are closed. I can guarantee here, you pull up here to a deserted parking lot middle of the night, we would rather have you parked there than out on the shoulder. So it's it's about understanding the laws and then just simply doing what you need to do to abide by them. There is no loophole. There is no, oh man, this sucks, so how do I avoid it? It is what it is, so you have to just do it. Because I've seen on my way, who does a really good job is Lake Mary Police Department at night. They will not allow any type of semi-truck parked on the shoulder at all. But you also don't hear of major crashes overnight. So it's not to give anyone a hard time, truly. It's to make sure that the traffic is moving. You don't have any issues. The semi-truck drivers don't have any issues and things like that. So hope that kind of breaks it down a little bit. This week, what do we have? This week we have the Blue Light Gala, guys. Blue Light Gala coming up this week. I am starting to feel a little bit better, so my brain hopefully will function better with you guys later on this week. We have a few interviews that are coming in, going to be really good. I am not, because I'm not feeling well, but today is Trooper Fink funeral services, and today we will honor his life and service to the great state of Florida and the sacrifice that he made while on duty. And that's what our Florida Highway Patrol will be doing today at 11 a.m. down in the Port St. Lucie area. And yep, so you guys have an amazing day. Stay safe. Kind of all over the place a little bit today, but we're going to be back with it tomorrow when I get back into the swing of things. So you guys have a great day. Please always wear your seatbelt. Have a great one.